translation of Fujitora's Purple Tiger. When I saw that, I'm like, Purple Tiger, okay, Admiral.
I just thought of something. What's going on, guys? You already know, it's your boy, Smoke, Reezy, Raider, Rozo, Reezy, Rosé. Anyway, you already know. I'm actually here to do a video response of a video that Firefish Shank made, talking about the new Admiral, Fujitora. Now, I'm not really going to talk about Fujitora. I'm going to talk about him a little bit, but that's just a basis of this One Piece discussion. I know I haven't put out a One Piece discussion vid in like hella days, so I was like, you know what, let's do one right now. Now, let's discuss the New World. Now, again, I caught up to One Piece like maybe like going on a year now, so I've been reading chapter by chapter for about a year. A little disappointed in the New World. I mean, they built up the New World to be like this megalithic, like if you don't have hockey, if you don't do this, if you're not strong, you're gonna get destroyed. Every time, like, remember in East Blue when like Don Craig was coming back and he was just on the Grand Line. When Don Craig was coming back and he was just like, oh, we can't go back, we got fucked up, son, it was over, like, they got trashed. I'm trying to see some shit that's epic, and this is just some things I expect from One Piece going forward into the future. Now let's just talk about two characters that right off the bat that we always care about, Luffy and Zoro. Now I might get into Sanji a little bit, but these are the two characters that the most main characters on the Straw Hat crew. Sorry, King. But let's look at who these two motherfuckers trained with. One, fucking Dracula Mihawk. Let's go for Zoro first, because I like Zoro. Let's go with Dracula Mihawk first now. He was training with Mihawk. Mihawk is the strongest swordsman in the world. So that's gotta be saying something. He's got that hockey. He's probably got some CQ. You know what I'm saying? The Conquering King. I call it CQ. I don't know why. I call it CK. There you go. Conquering's King. He's probably got that Conquering King hockey. He's got that armament hockey. We already know that for sure. Come on. Dracula Mihawk definitely has that shit. So if he was training Zoro, and Zoro was training with him for 2 years fighting, now we don't know exactly what Zoro was doing. You know, he could have been like fighting those baboons for days, you know, but eventually, you know, he probably would have beat them fools in about like maybe like 6 months time. He probably would have figured out how to beat all of them, you know, especially the one who learned how to like copy Mihawk. You know, Zoro's got that mad skills now, that especially when the only thing we've seen from Zoro that was really good was when he fought Monet. And I mean, you know, we've seen him fight Horty, and we've seen him fight the weaker fishmen, and just, you know, he just decimated them, just chopped them up like they were nothing. Like I was actually rereading some chapters in One Piece today when Mihawk was fighting Zoro, and you know, in the beginning in the Bar T arc, when Mihawk just destroyed him. And I was watching that, and I was watching the Rainford arc, and I was reading some other things. And it's gonna be crazy, and this is what I really want to get into, of what I really want to see. Is, you remember when Luffy was fighting Smoker in Marineford arc, and they were like up in the sky, like throwing punches at each other, like flying and like doing this crazy, super fast movements? I'm expecting to see that times 30, times 40. I'm expecting to see those fights go on for days, and that's another thing I want to get into about the Doflomingo and Aokiji fight, where, of course, they didn't get in a fight because they're too strong. They're too strong to, like, Doflomingo was like, fuck, I don't want to deal with this fight right now. I got a bunch of other shit on my mind. And if you remember when Aokiji fought Akainu, that fight lasted like 10 days. So these fights are about to get on the scale of epicness. They're about to go. Remember when Yu Yu Hakusho? And I know I'm throwing in a different thing. When Yusuke went to Demon World and he became an S class. When he finally transformed into his demon form, and him and Sensui were just like boom, boom, like they're here, then they were there, then they're here, and they were just explosions. That's what I'm expecting from One Piece. That's what I know is gonna happen. This next arc with Fujitora coming, and Admiral, who is, I was doing a little research. People were like, oh, it's Purple Dragon or Purple Tiger, maybe it's Magellan. I was also doing some other research. I think Fujitora also means like a knife. So maybe we're going to see like a swordsman or like an assassin type guy. That'd be sick. Like someone who's really strong with a sword. An admiral who's got some crazy hockey skills. Who's got some crazy sword fighting skills. And that'd be great. Because if we get to see Zoro right away, if Luffy's taking on Doflomingo, right? Wouldn't that be crazy to see Zoro taking on an admiral, like a swordsman admiral? That would be fucking insane, man. I can't wait to see that shit. So Fujitora, I don't know exactly what he is. I'm gonna say he's a swordsman, just to throw it out there. Fujitora is a type of knife. I think people say, oh, Purple Tiger or Magellan or some shit like that. But that'd be crazy to see Magellan too. But I don't know. I think Magellan is one of those devil fruit users, or one of those people in One Piece who relies on their devil fruit too much, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna say Fujitora is a knife wielder, a blade wielder. I want to see what he's gonna be doing. I want to say Zoro is going to fight him. That's going to be some crazy shit. Zoro for the win. Another guy I want to talk about is Monkey D. Luffy. I know I've been jumping around a lot in this video, but that's how shit happens. I get on a rant and shit just... I just talk about whatever. So, Luffy, I want to talk about his training with Rayleigh. Now, Rayleigh fought Kizaru one-on-one. And he was like... They were even. Alright, now I think Kizaru might have won that match if that would have kept going on. Just because Rayleigh's older, Kizaru's younger, and that fight would have been... it would have been so much more crazy if that had gone on. Now, let's talk about Rayleigh getting Luffy ready for the New World. Now, Luffy has got Armaments Haki, he's got Conquering Kings Haki, and he's got an Awareness Haki. Now, he's got the 3 major type of Hakis that you need. To what level that he has each of them, we don't know. But I want to say that I don't think Rayleigh would let... Rayleigh left Luffy on the island for 6 months. So he was with them for a year and a half. And then he left. He went and did some Rayleigh shit. Probably fuck Shocky or whatever. But he left and Luffy was just training by himself. So I don't think Rayleigh would have left Luffy alone if he didn't think Luffy was ready for the New World. If he didn't think Luffy had the power, the charisma, the strength. You know, if he didn't have the right Haki, if he wasn't strong enough, he would have just left him there. So people would be like, oh, I don't think Luffy could take on Doflomingo. I think he can now. It's going to be weird because I know Doflamingo's probably going to be talking to Luffy in his pace, and he's going to be doing all this, oh, let me get the meat, and let me get Ace's devil fruit, and all that shit that's going to be happening. Another thing I want to talk about Luffy is in this last arc, Punk Hazard. Now, when Luffy was running, when him and Smoker were like flying to go get thing, he was running so fast, he was conducting flames. So that means he is at least supersonic. He's like when Marty McFly went back to the future and shit, and Doc Brown was like, yeah. Like, I'm telling you, Luffy is super fast. He's got some incredible speed. He's got that gear second speed. He's gonna turn some shit on. And now let's look at, I want to talk about another thing is how canon is Film Z. And I haven't seen it yet. I've seen the first fight. I can assume that Luffy beats Z. Like I said, I haven't seen the film yet, but I'm pretty sure Luffy beats Z. I don't even think I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Again, I haven't seen the movie. I'm waiting for that shit to come out on Blu-ray. I'm waiting to see that shit in its full entirety, what it's really gonna look like. But I did see the first scene, and in the scene, Z was fighting Kizaru. And he was like actually putting in work. He was fighting Kizaru like toe to toe, up until he he shot that big purple bullshit cannon, whatever it was, and Kizaru like literally. And this is the thing I've been thinking about Kizaru is he's so fast. Like a punch was there, and he just it was like the yellow flash, and he was just like gone. It was some crazy shit. He was super fast. So there's some of the things I've been thinking about One Piece. I want to see how these fights are going to turn out. What these guys are going to look like. How strong they are. How powerful they're going to be. How the fights are going to actually look like. I was thinking about the fight that's going to happen in the future with Usopp and Van Augur. Now this fight might happen like 10 years in the future. We don't know. It's going to happen way far away. And if Usopp is gonna fight Van Augur, he's gonna need some sort of Haki. I've always imagined this fight to be some crazy shit. Now people are like, oh, Usopp needs to get rid of his slingshot. No, a slingshot is a deadly ass weapon if used correctly, and Usopp uses that shit like a boss. Remember when he was on top of the Hall of Justice, or I guess the Hall of Justice? Yeah, there's some Justice League type shit. But he was sitting there and he was shooting, fucking. He was pulling his Kabuto all the way back and just letting that shit rip, like tearing motherfuckers up. Like, I'm telling you, people hate on Usopp's shit, but Usopp is a beast. All right, don't be talking about his his slingshot like it ain't nothing. Like he needs to pick up some gats. Let him use his slingshot. He needs to get some hockey, and he needs to get some sea stone bullets. Right? He needs to infuse those two together. Either one of those two he needs. He needs something to help him fight devil fruit users, to help him get on the path. Now he was training with Hercules, or Hercules, or the guy who was dressed up in the beetle. So to see what he actually taught him besides using just the pop green and stuff like that, I don't think he was a person who had hockey. I'm not sure. He might have had some observation hockey. I think Usopp definitely has some of that, but it's gonna be crazy to see what he does from there. But again, now I'm just ranting. So let me know what you guys think about what's going to happen in One Piece. What do you want to see? Have you been disappointed with the New World so far? Have you been excited about it? For me, like I said, Punk Hazard was awesome. But Fishman Island, Punk Hazard were just setup chapters. They weren't anything to be really excited about. I mean, they were mostly information. We had some bullshit backstory about racism and shit in Fishman Island, and some of it set up the past, and some of it set up what's going to happen with the polygraphs in the One Piece and in the Void Century, where they had Noah's Ark. They had all these weird things. Sea Kings, Poseidon. They had the Robin read a polygraph there. So it's going to be crazy to see how this all works together in the end. Anyways, guys, I'm ranting. Bitches blunts in anime. You already know. One Piece for the motherfucking win. Anybody who says differently is slacking. Their game is slacking. If they don't like One Piece and they're not caught up to it, and they don't understand the importance of story building, world building, character building, then they don't know anything about One Piece. So, anyways, guys, I'm out. Check out Firefish Shanks' video. I'll probably leave that shit in the description below. I'll probably leave this as a video response to that, so you can just click right onto that shit. So, peace out, guys. Sub up to him, and I'm fucking out of here. Ah.